Good morning all. In last lecture, we discussed on internal business environment and now we are moving towards the external business environment. Internal environment is that environment which is prevailing within the premises of organization. So external environment is that environment which is prevailing outside the organization, outside the premises of organization. Here I have come up with one of the diagram. Here three circles are there. And in the smaller circle, form is written. Then in the pink circle, suppliers, customers, marketing intermediaries, competitors are there. And in the biggest blue circle, demographic, economic, government, legal, political, cultural, and technological environments are there. See, this blue circle and pink circle collectively known as external environment. In last lecture, we discussed on internal environment, and now this is the time to discuss about external environment. While giving the definition of internal environment, I told you that internal is known as micro environment and external is known as macro environment. See, micro and macro both are subjective word. Micro you can consider as small and macro you can consider as big. Here three circles are there: form, then this supplier customer environment and this demographic economic environment. If you compare only two circles, that is forms environment and this outsider, that is supplier and customers environment, then forms environment means internal environment will be considered as micro environment, whereas supplier and customer will be considered as macro environment. Now, if you change the comparison of this pink circle and blue circle, then supplier and customer will be a small environment and this demographic economic government will be a big environment. So, supplier and customer will collectively known as external micro environment, whereas demographic economic government like that environment will be known as external macro environment. So now moving on the discussion, we will always say as external micro and external macro environment. Today we will start with the external micro environment. See, in last lecture I told you that environment is collection of that factors which are affecting the organization. Some are within the organization, some are outside the organization. If some are outside the organization, then again we have to see whether they are near to the organization or they are far to the organization. If they are near to the organization, they will be considered as external micro environment, like suppliers, customers that are outside the organization but they are quite near to the organization. So we will term them as a external micro environment. Let us see the first factor of external micro environment, that is suppliers of input. Suppliers are those who provides us raw material, component and anything that we are using in the process of conversion of input into output. It is the supplier who are helping us in winning the confidence of our customer. How is it possible? See, if supplier provides us qualitative raw material, then and then only we will be able to produce qualitative finished good, and by that way our customer will be satisfied, and if this continues then it will result into expansion of business. So supplier affects a great extent for expansion of a business. And to that reason we should maintain good relation with a supplier. If we are having a good relation, they will be helping us, and if we are having not that much good relation, then definitely it will deteriorate our image in a market. Now question is how we can maintain good relation with supplier. By giving them timely order and by making timely payment of the order, we can maintain good relation with a supplier. Here it is written that if supply of raw material is not certain, then it increases the cost of production. Definitely, to run our business regularly, we need a regular and constant flow of raw material. If there is an interruption in the flow of raw material, then there will be interruption in the production and we will not be able to complete our orders on time. So there must be certainty, continuity in a supply of raw material. But if any organization is not getting continuous supply of raw material, then what it can do? It has to purchase raw material in a big bulk. and if they are purchasing in a bulk, then their capital will be blocked in the raw material, so their capital cost will increase. Not only this, but after purchasing in bulk, they need to store it for a longer period of time. So again, they are incurring a storaging cost. So just behind purchasing a bulk raw material, firm is incurring two costs. One is a capital cost and second is a storage cost. And ultimately, this both will increase the cost of production, and resultantly, it will increase the price of our finished good in a market. And if this is the situation, then our competitor can easily capture our market. So if supply of raw material is not certain, it will increase our cost of production. Secondly, it is written that for having regularity of supply, firm can adopt backward integration strategy. If any firm is not getting regular supply, then as a solution, what it can do, here it is written that one of the strategy, that strategy is known as backward integration strategy. First of all, let us know what is integration. Integration means combination of two business units. When two business merge their business together, then it is known as integration. This integration can be done on a two ways. One is a backward integration and second is a forward integration. In this example, in this diagram, I have given the example of Intel and Dell. See, what is a business of Intel? Intel is producing motherboard, microprocessor chips, integrated chips, likewise, which forms inner body of PC and computer. Then what is the business of Dell? They are producing PC and computer, and ultimately this PC and computers are sold. PC and laptops are sold to the marketing agencies. So Intel supplies to the Dell and Dell supplies to the marketing agency. This is what a channel is created. Now suppose Dell is not getting motherboards or microprocessor chips regularly, then what Dell can do? Dell can combine its business with the Intel so that they can have a surety of continuous flow of supply of raw material, because now Intel and Dell is considered as one business only. So they will definitely take care of the need of their Dell. So when Dell is combining with Intel, Dell is going backward. So that combination is known as a backward integration. But suppose Dell is combining with marketing agency, then it will be known as forward integration. But for having a continuity in supply, a firm should go for backward integration. But again, this strategy is not useful for the small firms because this requires a huge amount of investment for purchasing others' business. For energy input, firm can have their own power plant. See, nowadays almost all the organizations are using capital intensive techniques, and for production, electricity becomes the pre-requirement for production. In that situation, what they can do? In India that it is a scenario. We are having one day off for electricity. It means you will have 24/6 production only. Now we are having so many firms who want to produce product on a 24/7 basis. This is the case, they should own their own power plant, and that's what Reliance has done. They have set up their power plant in Jamnagar. So what is the benefit? They are having continuity of their electricity plus the excess electricity they can sell in a open market. So in both of the hand, they are having benefit. One, their production is not interrupting, and second, they are generating the excess source of earning revenue. But again, this can be done by big firms only, because establishing power plant requires huge investment. Now these two strategies of backward integration and setting up power plant, these are the solution for the big firms. Then what can be the solution for small firms? Here it is written, to reduce risk and uncertainties, firm keep multiple supplier of input. That can be done by the small organization. They should not depend on one supplier, because if they will depend on one supplier, then interruption in their production system, if they are having strike or lockout, then their activity will affect your business organization. So this will prove as a suicidal attempt for our business. In that situation, what a firm should do, a firm should depend on multiple suppliers. So if one of the supplier fails to supply, we can easily get our raw material from another supplier. So this is how a supplier affect our organization. How they are affecting, in one word we can say that supplier affect our cost of production, and it is the supplier on the basis of whom we can win our customers. Now moving towards the second factor, that are the customer. Customer are those who are purchasing our product and services. Definitely business run in the market because they want to sell their product and service to the customer. If you are having a large base of customer, you are successful in a market, and if you are not having a good number of customers, then you will be fail in a market. What written here is, for survival and growth, it is necessary to take care customer sensitivity and keep them satisfied. What a firm can do to take care the customer sensitivity. A firm should know what are the likes and dislikes of the customer, what are their taste and preferences, what are their income level, and on that basis a firm should frame their product. If firm is taking care of this factor, then definitely your product will be liked by your customer. And secondly, to keep them satisfied. How a firm can keep customers satisfied? By listening to their complaint. If they are having any problem or any complaint with our product, then it is a moral duty of organization to listen to their complaint and try to sort it out. A firm should never cheat to their customer. Firm should always be genuine towards their customer. If any of the time you will be successful in cheating your customer, you may have a temporary gain, but you will have a permanent loss of customer. So just to keep them satisfied, a firm should never cheat their customer. Then for keeping them satisfied, another tool a firm can use is making customer in a touch. You can have purchased any of the product online, and you have experienced that after purchase, after some interval, you are having regular message and emails from a e-commerce site. What they want to convey, why they are doing this, they just want to remind in your mind that we are still surviving in a market. So if next time if you want to go for online purchase, that particular site will come first in your mind. So by this way you can increase the customers purchase frequency with your organization. So here we have discussed two things: how we can take care customer sensitivity and how we can keep our customer satisfied. Customer sensitivity can be taken care by knowing their likes, dislikes, income level, tastes and preferences, and customer can keep satisfied by listening to their complaints, by being genuine to them, and by being in touch with them. Firm should cater the different needs Firm should cater the needs of different category of customer by producing different varieties. See, any organization cannot have only one type of customers. There is a different categories of customer. What kind of categories are there? So for example, individuals customer are there. You can have an customer as an organization or institution. You can have customer as a government as well, and all of them are having different needs. For example, if a firm is producing vehicle, four wheel, then they can have these three categories of customer. Individuals are there, institutions are there, and government is always there. See, individual need is different. Individual may want two wheel and four wheel. An institution may want vehicle for the transportation of their finished goods, so their requirement can be satisfied by truck. Government wants vehicle for the state transformation, so their requirements are buses. All these three categories requirement are different, and it is the duty of organization to satisfy the different needs of different customer by framing the model of their product according to the need of their customer. And firm has to compete with rivals for attracting customer by spending behind advertisement. In customer, what a organization can do? An organization's target is always to increase their customer. It is not like that you can satisfy only your present customer, but you must have your target to increase your potential customer and your future customer. How we can increase our potential customer, how we can convert our potential customer in a present customer by giving more advertisement, by providing qualitative product as compared to our rival firms. So whenever the question of customers are coming, there is always a question of competitor. You can gain a big number of customer only if you can compete with your competitors successfully. So how you can compete with your customers? By giving advertisement, by using brand ambassadors, and by using the medias which influence a lot to the mind of customer. Nextly, it is written that after some interval, firms should launch new product. See, we are living in this 21st century. No one like to live a rigid life. No one will be happy with the product which they are using in the past. They always want novelty. It is a human psyche that it is impressed by the novel things. And due to that reason, a firm should try to launch a new product at a different interval. If you cannot launch a new product, at least you can change the packaging of the product so that a customer feel that they are something getting new. And if they are getting new, they will be satisfied with your organization. In past, they were with your organization, and if you are keep launching a new product, they are with your organization and they will be with your organization. Due importance should be given to the quality of product. We are living in this 21st century where there is a tough competition, and if you win a competition, then only price cannot matter. You should provide a qualitative good. If you are not providing a qualitative good, then you can have one-time purchase from a customer, but you cannot have a permanent base of customer. So if any organization wants permanent base of customer, they should always produce qualitative goods only. So this is how customer affect our business activities. Moving towards the third factor, that is known as marketing intermediaries. Who are marketing intermediaries? In other words, we can say it as channel of distribution. Here I have given three levels of channel of distribution. That is, starts with the manufacturer. Manufacturer sells to agent. Agent sells to wholesaler. Wholesaler sells to retailer, and retailer finally sells to consumer. So this middleman, agent, wholesaler, and retailer will collectively known as marketing intermediaries. How marketing intermediaries affect our business activities, that we need to see. See, marketing intermediaries play essential role in selling and distributing. It is not the manufacturer, it is not the organization, it is not the owner who directly sell in a market. They are selling to the marketing intermediaries, and it is the middlemen only who are in the contact with market, and they are selling to the final customer. So they play essential role in selling and distributing. The task of organization is of just producing. Final selling will be done by middlemen. Marketing intermediaries are responsible for stocking and transportation of goods from the place of manufacturer to the place of consumer. See what a marketing intermediaries are doing. They are purchasing in a bulk from manufacturer, and in a small size they are selling to the next level in channel of distribution. Means, for example, agent is purchasing 50,000 units in bulk from manufacturer, then he will be selling 10,000 size order to the wholesaler, and retailer finally will sell according to the requirement of final customer. So what a middlemen are doing, they are purchasing in bulk and they are storing for a longer period of time, and they are selling to the final customer according to their requirement. An organization never sell one quantity to the final consumer. They are always selling in a bulk to the middleman. So purchasing in bulk, after purchasing they need to store it. Then it is the marketing intermediaries who assist business in targeting, promoting, and selling product to the right market. See, Earlier also I told you that organization never sells in an open market. It is the middlemen who are in contact with customer. It is your middleman who know your customer well. It is your middleman who know what is going in a market, what are the trends, what are the tastes and preferences of customer. So they can be a very well advisor for organization. They help organization in targeting their product. It is the middleman who will tell organization that your product will be suitable to a particular group of customer. Then which particular group you should target, that advice can be given by middleman. It is the middleman who know that particular bunch of consumer, and they know what are their psychology, by what they will be attracted. On that basis they will give advice that what should be your promotional strategy and what should be your selling strategy. And lastly, it is written that a dislocation of link will adversely affect fortune of the company. Here I would like to give two examples. In India, few years ago, collectively druggists uh, collectively druggists boycott one leading pharmaceutical company. Why? Because that pharmaceutical company was not providing sufficient margin to the druggist, and due to that reason they stopped purchasing from them. And due to their collective act, the pharmaceutical company increases the profit margin, because if they will not increase the profit margin, the middleman will not sell that product in a market. And howsoever brilliant their product is, if middleman is not convinced with your product, you will not be able to sell your product in a market. So what is the task of organization? That in any situation your middleman must be satisfied with your organization. And how a middleman can be satisfied? By providing them sufficient margin which covers up their cost of distribution and result into a good profit margin for them. Another example I would like to give, that is of HP. HP wants to sell their laptop in an open market. They want to go for direct selling, and due to that reason they eliminated channel of distribution. But what was the result? After elimination of channel of distribution, their sales started to decrease, and after knowing the decrease in a cell, again they have reappointed the channel of distribution. Why this happened? Because company were not knowing customers well, they were not knowing how to play with the psyche of consumer. It is only middlemen who are always coming in the contact with consumer, so it is the middlemen who know how to convince their customer. So boycott of this channel of distribution will be a disastrous decision for your organization. Anyhow, your organization should keep your middleman satisfied. If you can keep your middleman satisfied more than what your competitors can do, then they will help you increasing your sale in a market, because it is the middlemen who are purchasing your product and your competitors as well. But if you are satisfying them more by providing them more margin, they will definitely interested in selling your product more as compared to your competitor. Moving towards the fourth factor, they are the competitors. Real markets are kind of monopolistic and oligopoly, so firm compete with other for selling. You know that there are basically four types of market structure: perfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic competition, and oligopoly. Perfect competition is considered as a dream market of an economist, and monopoly generally is never found in a reality. If you talk about public utility, where government's monopoly is there, then it's fine, but you will never find a private monopoly. So what a real kind of market situations are? There will be always two types of market structure. One is a monopolistic market structure and another is a oligopoly. What is monopolistic? In monopolistic market, the number of sellers will be more, and in oligopoly, it will be less as compared to monopolistic. But in whatever market you are operating, you are always facing competitors, and you need to compete with them for increasing your selling. Firm competes on the basis of price competition and non-price competition. How so many number of custom competitors you are having in a market? Basically, there are two tools to face a competition. One is a price competition and second one is a non-price competition. What is a price competition? When you are competing with your rival on the basis of price, it means you are reducing price to increase yourself, then it is known as a price competition. The another base is a non-price competition. In this type of competition, what you are doing, you are not reducing the price of your product, but you are competing your rival on the basis of quality of your product, on the basis of product differentiation, or on the basis of advertisement. So for example, if you are providing superior quality, then definitely you will be ahead than your rival. If you are offering some more features or some more utilities in your product, then also customer will like your product over your competitor's product. Or if you are giving intensive advertisement or you are using brand ambassador and you are creating a great influence in the mind of customer, then also you can be a superior player in a market as compared to your competitor. So these are basically two types of competition, two types of tools that are in the hands of organization to face a competition. One is a price competition and second is non-price competition. Generally, price competition is considered as non-ethical. Why it is non-ethical? Because it will reduce in a profit margin of almost all the firms in a market. See what happens when you reduce your price. It is not like that your competitor will sit quiet. They will also reduce the price and you both of them keep reducing price to an extent until it will result into nil profit. So none of you will be beneficial. It is only customer who will be beneficial. And due to this situation, price competition is considered as non-ethical. Then competition are of two types. One is a brand competition and second is a desired competition. That is what written here. Brand competition, for example, Coca-Cola and Pepsi, and desired competition, for example, TV and refrigerator. See what is brand competition. Brand competition is a competition where two manufacturers who are producing same product, who are satisfying same needs, are competing with each other. Example written here is Coca-Cola and Pepsi-Cola. Both are soft drink. Both are satisfying the same need of customer, that is a thirst. Another example you can take is a Surf Excel and Ariel. Both are washing powder. The use of both is same and both are satisfying the same need. These are known as a brand competition where two same category of product are competing with each other. Another one is a desired competition. What is a desired competition? When desired competition is that competition where two manufacturers are not competing on the basis of same product. Both manufacturers' products are different, both are satisfying different needs, but then also they are competitors of each other. See, how is it possible? Here example given is TV and refrigerator. See, let us assume that TV and refrigerator is a luxurious product. Nowadays they are not, but let us assume that these are the luxurious product, and consumer always purchase luxurious product from their savings only, and their savings are always limited. If a consumer go on buying TV, he will not buy refrigerator. So here a competition is on attracting the saving on what product consumer want to spend. So this will be known as a desire competition. What is the desire of your customer to purchase? If a consumer is having a strong desire to purchase TV, then TV will win over refrigerator. Lastly, it is written that liberalization and globalization has increased the competition. See, if we talk about the scenario before 1991, Indian economy was considered as a closed economy where there was no foreign players in a market. Only domestic players were producing and selling in a market. So the level of competition was restricted up to domestic players only. But as the time passes, if we talk about the scenario after 1991, India has adopted liberalization and globalization, and due to that reason, now organization is not only facing competition from domestic player, but they are also facing competition from foreign players as well. Due to liberalization, we can say due to cancellation of licensing policies, now anyone can start their business easily. So due to that reason also, the number of players in a market increases, which intensifies the competition in a market. Whatever the market structure it is, whatever the type of competition is there, a firm should always keep their eyes on the moves of their competitor to win in a market. If you fail to know what are the moves of your competitor, you will fail to give counter moves and they will win the marketplace. So it is the competitor who can disastrously affect our organization. Now moving towards the next factor, that is public. The definition of public is given here. It is any group having actual or potential interest in company's ability to achieve its objective. See, who are the public? Public is not your supplier, public is not your customer, and public is not your competitor. Then who the public is? They may or may not be your customer, but they are having a great influence on the activities of business. Here the groups are written here, that environmentalists are there, media groups are there, women associations, consumer protection groups, local groups, citizen associations. This all can be considered as public. What is the interest of public in your organization if they are not purchasing your product? If they are not purchasing your product, then definitely they are not your consumer. But then also they want to know that how efficiently you are earning in a market, because their hidden interest is, if you are earning from society, you must give something back to the society. If you are not giving back to the society, at least you should not harm the society. These two are the basic interest of public in any organization. Some examples are written here. Consumer protection firm in Delhi, headed by Sunita Narayan, came out with an amazing fact that cold drinks such as Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola, Limca, Fanta had a higher content of pesticides which posed threat to the human health and life. Before this campaign done by Sunita Narayan, Pepsi-Cola and Coca-Cola was uh, selling in a bulk. We can say they are having crores of turnover in an Indian market. The soft drinks sold by these two companies were every year crossing their own records. But after this campaign by Sunita Narayan, their sales started decrease, and it was a year around 2003-4. This 2003-4, the selling of almost all the soft drink decreased. Why? Because one of their public group is campaigning against this kind of product. And after the campaigning done by this public group, government has made certain amendment in the laws, and uh, they have made rule that any soft drink should not contain pesticide beyond the European safety standards. Earlier, any kind of product was prepared and sold out in a market, but now they need to take care about the health of the consumer. So this is what the effect of public can have in your organization. Another example written here is, environmentalists like Arundhati Roy have been campaigning against industries which pollute the environment. See, what is the task of environmentalists? They are always concerned about the environment, and organization using capital intensive techniques, they are uh, having their best in the environment, and due to that reason they are polluting the environment. You know that such kind of situations are frequently happens in the Jaipur. Jaipur is famous for the printing and dyeing association, and due to this printing due to this printing, they are polluting the water of the river, so they are always finding this kind of campaigning from the public. Whenever campaigning is there, for a smaller period of time, they are having closure of the unit. Next example written here is women in some villages of Haryana protested against liquor shops being situated in their localities. Another written here is many citizen groups are actively campaigning against cigarette manufacturers for giving advertisement. Earlier it was allowed to give advertisement on the print media or in the national media, but after this campaign, the tobacco manufacturers are not allowed to give any kind of advertisement. Not only that, but they need to warn the consumer about the health hazard done by the tobacco product. So this is what effect of public can have on your organization. Public may be your customer, may not be, but if they unite together, they definitely stop your survival. So it is the public whom we should keep satisfied by our activities. At least we should not harm them. We should keep them satisfied. If we cannot keep them satisfied, we should not harass them. Here, the external microenvironment got over. Now we are moving towards the external macroenvironment. In the diagram I have shown earlier, there were 6 or 7 factors known as demographic, political, cultural, national factors are there. Economic factors are also there, but here we are dividing this external macro environment into 2 categories. One is the economic environment and second is a non-economic environment. The reason behind categorizing this external macro environment is in our syllabus, 2 classifications are given. One is the internal and external environment, and second classification is economic and non-economic environment. So due to that reason, again we are having classification in external macro environment. All in all, external macro environment can be taken as 1. Economic environment. The first component of economic environment is national income. What is a national income? National income is the total income of the total population. The definition given here is national income is total amount of goods and services produced within the nation during a given period of time. Increasing income may go in the hands of people, which promote the purchasing power of people. See how national income affect any organization. If national income is increasing, generally we assume that the population's income is increasing, and if income of the population is increasing, their purchasing power will also increase, and if purchasing power will increase, they will make more demand and production will increase in a market. Increasing purchasing power increases demand of the goods and services in the market, which indirectly pushes the production and investment in a business. See, from the national income, it will work as an indicator whether the economy is going from a prosperous period or a dark period. If there is a prosperous period, means it is a positive environment for business. In this environment, the business activities are tend to increase and profit of the business also increases. If you want to launch a new product, then this increasing national income will be a good sign, will be a good period for launching a new product, because it is, you are having at least assurity that it will be sold out in a market. You can take reverse trend if there is a decrease in our income. If national income is decreasing, then people's purchasing power decreases, and it will reduces demand and production in our economy, and economy will be facing dark period. Now next is per capita income. What is per capita income? When the national income is divided by total population, it will be known as per capita income, or another words we can say it as per head income. The real income per capita can only measure economic development. See, On the national income, we cannot measure whether the economy is developing or not developing. It is the per capita income on the basis of which we can decide whether the economy is in a developing phase or in a non-developing phase. What happens that national income sometimes give wrong indication. If national income is increasing and simultaneously the population is also increasing, then per capita income will decrease. And if per capita income will decrease, it means population's income is not increasing. In that situation, the demand will not increase, though national income is increasing. So, national income is not a correct indicator. The correct indicator is a per capita income. See, that is what written here. Though with the increased national income, per capita income also increases, but if the growth of population is rapid, the real per capita income falls. And if the real per capita income falls, it will not increase demand and production in a economy. See how this circle of income and the production work, that is written here. If income increases, then people increases their demand. If demand increases, then production also increases, and if production increases, then selling increases. If selling increases, then again the income of that manufacturer increases. They will increase their demand, and this circle will keep moving on and on. If this circle is moving in this direction, then we can say that economy is having prosperous period. If the circle is moving in a anti-clockwise, say for example income decreases, then demand will also decrease. If demand decreases, then production will decrease. If production decrease, then selling decrease. And again, due to decrease in a selling, income will also decrease. If this circle starts, then this circle will continue to move until the recession overs in a market. So we need to know what is the level of per capita income, because on that basis an organization can take decision what kind of product to sell in a market. If per capita, the average level of per capita in an economy is low, they will be purchasing only primary needs goods, primary goods only. But if the per capita income is high, for example America, European countries are there, the people will not only purchase the necessity goods, they will also make purchase of luxurious goods. So on the basis of level of per capita income, an organization can decide what kind of product can be sellable in a market. The third one is disposable income. So what is disposable income? Income that you dispose of behind purchasing luxuries, that is known as disposable income. The definition written here is, after satisfying the primary wants, whatever the income remaining surplus in the hands of people is called disposable income. So the formula will be like total income minus spending behind basic necessities will equal to disposable income. Say for example, a person is earning 50,000 and he is spending 20,000 behind satisfying their basic needs, then its disposable income will be 30,000 rupees, and from this 30,000 rupees he will make purchase of luxurious goods. If people have such income, they will increase the demand of goods and services in the market, and it will inspire the enterprise to produce more and more. So it is not only per capita income, but it is your disposable income, on the basis of which what kind of business activity should be undertaken in an economy, that will be decided. If the per capita income is low, then naturally the disposable income will be low, then population of the country will be demanding only basic needs only. But if disposable income is high, then there is a chances of demanding more product in a economy. They will be also demanding luxurious product as well. Then next is capacity of saving. What is a savings? Savings simply means total income minus expenditure is equal to savings. Now you must have questioned that how savings affect business activity, because generally we are assuming that saving is that portion of income which we are not spending, And if we are not spending, we are not demanding, and if we are not demanding, it will not affect business environment. But savings also affect business environment, that we need to see how. So what written here is, if people have more tendency to keep cash money in their hands instead of saving their surplus income, there will be no increase in the ratio of savings. See, we know that old age people in our family, they are having the habit of saving, but in what form they are keeping their saving? They are they are keeping the cash in the treasury or in their cupboard only, which will not channelize. If in 2000 you are keeping 50,000 in your cupboard, then in 2010 it will be 50,000 only. There will be no increase in your saving, plus there will be reduce in the value of your saving. If you could have sold your 50,000 in 2000, you may have purchased so many things, but if you are spending your 50,000 in 2010, you will not be able to purchase that many things that you could have afforded in 2000. So the value of your saving will decrease, plus your savings will not increase. Secondly, it is written that the savings will promote loanable funds in the economy, which will help the economy to develop. If you are keeping your savings in a bank instead of keeping in your cupboard or in a treasury, if you are keeping your saving in a bank as a fixed deposit, or you are saving in a bank account, then what bank will do with your money? They will give loan to the industrialist, and after having that loan, industrialist will increase their business activity and they will give more employment. By that way, income in the economy will increase and demand will increase. So just by the saving of one person, if the savings of that one person will channelize, then it will boost up the economic activity in a country. Then next is price rise or inflation. Price rise means what? The price of almost each and every goods are increasing. In other words, we are terming it as a inflation. Price rise or inflation has effect on real income, demand, selling, savings, and marketing. People have limited income to spend. Their income does not increase equal to price rise in the market. As a result, purchasing, which will affect the demand, supply, and production. If national income is increasing, per capita income is increasing, your disposable income is increasing, but simultaneously inflation is also increasing, there will be no increase in the demand and production in a country. See what happened? Inflation has no effect on your income, but inflation has effect on your real income. How is it possible? See, if you are earning 20,000 a year before and now you are earning 30,000, it means there is a sharp increase of 10,000 rupees. But it may happen that if inflation is too much in the economy, then in 20,000 you could satisfy your more needs, and that 30,000 could not be of that much help for satisfying this need because of inflation in our economy. So inflation has not effect on our income, but inflation has effect on our real income, and as a result, inflation reduces the demand and production activity in our economy. The next one is loans for consumption motive. If the bank and financial institution become liberal to provide loans for purchasing different goods and houses, it will bring demand for such goods, which will inspire the producer to increase the production. See, loans for consumption motive means what? Banks are there to give loan. Loans can be given in two categories. Basically, one we can term it as a productive loan, and one we can term it as a non-productive loan. What is productive loan? When loan is given to the industrialists, to the entrepreneurs for increasing, for expanding their business, it will be known as a productive loan. And what is non-productive loan, or in other words we can say as a consumption loan? When loan is given for purchasing any goods which will be consumed by final consumer, then it will be known as a consumer or non-productive loan. For example, if bank gives loan for purchasing house, then this loan will not increase the economic activity in the country, but it will be beneficial only to the construction industries, because after getting this house loan, the consumer who could not afford to purchase home, now they are making demand because they are getting loan from the bank. So it is the loan structure that affect your economic activity. If loan is given more for the production activity, it will boost up the economic environment of a country. There will be prosperous phase in our economy. But if the loan is given for consumption motive, it will not affect entire economy, rather it will affect a particular industry. This will encourage builders and increase the construction business. That what I told you, that if bank gives you loan for housing purpose, then it will increase the business of construction and builders. Then the last factor in economic environment is distribution of national income. See, it is not national income, but it is the distribution of national income that affect the demand and production in the economy. What is the distribution? Generally, we assume that any country is having three classes of the population: rich class, middle class, and poor class. If national income is distributed evenly, then there will be a classless society. There will be no rich, no middle, no poor. But if there is an uneven distribution, someone is earning too much and someone is not at all earning, then there will be classism, like rich class, middle class, and poor class. If this classism is there, then definitely the demand pattern will change in our economy. Let us see how. If distribution of income is not equal, the poor and middle class people will not make demand for comfortable goods. See what happened? It is only rich class who are earning more, and middle class and poor class are those class who are earning that much to satisfy their primary needs only. If this is the scenario, then generally demand will not increase in a economy, though rich class is earning more. Why? Because the population of rich class is always less. It will generally rounding up between 5 to 7% of the total population. The remaining population will fall in the middle class and the poor class, and they are earning only that much by which they can satisfy their primary needs only. So if this is the scenario, the demand will not increase in the economy, prosperity will not come in our economy. Due to lack of more income, they have no capacity to purchase them, so production of such goods will not develop, because the poor class and middle class are not earning sufficiently. They are not making demand in a economy. It is only rich class, and if rich class is demanding, the demand will be less. It will not be too much, because the size of the rich class, size of the market is small. So this is all about economic environment. In next lecture, we will start with the non-economic environment. If you are having any doubt, you can contact me. Till the time, have a good day.